Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel Current Study IQ, and this video is totally dedicated to all the aspirants who are working or preparing for all the defense examinations of various organizations. In this section, I will discuss about some important questions of physics and their concept which is asked again and again by various organizations. Okay, so let us start our video. So this is our channel. If you really like our content, please like, share and subscribe to it. Which of the following represents the decibel level of rustling of tree leaves in normal circumstances? This question was asked in UPPSC 2018. Decibel is the unit of sound. Okay, the right answer for the decibel unit of rustling of tree leaves is 20 decibels. Yes, you can see this. Just audible sound, like we can say whispering, it's about 10 decibels. Okay, a normal library, quiet library, will sound around 30 to 40 decibels. A high concentrated of office or you can say traffic will sound around 80 decibels. A electric or steam engine will sound around 100 decibels. An orchestra or we can say high sound parties, they will sound around 110 decibels. 130 to 140 dB is the unit of sound when a flight jet take off. Okay, question number 2. Which of the following has the highest velocity? Again, this question was asked in UPPSC 2018. And as far as the theoretical aspect is concerned, light is the fastest substance. Nothing can travel faster than light. So the right answer is light. See, this is a very easy or simple question. But if they ask you the order, it will become tough. So you must know the exact unit or you can say exact range of their sound. Like light can travel with a speed of 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Cosmic rays are the particles which can travel 90% of the speed of light. They are very fast moving particles. An electron can travel at the speed of 2200 kilometer per second. You can also convert them into meter per second. And the supersonic waves, they travel around the speed of sound. So it will be around 340 to 350 meter per second. Okay, so if I'll ask you the order, then light will be the fastest one, then the cosmic rays, then the electron, then the supersonic waves. Remember this. Okay, and if I'll ask you who discovered the cosmic rays were discovered by Victor Hayes. And who discovered the electron? J.J. Thomson. Okay. Infrared, visible, and ultraviolet radiations have different properties. We all know this. Which of the following statements related to these radiations or light is not correct, or we can say is incorrect? Okay, so they are talking about the wavelength in the question and the photon energy. They are talking about these two aspects. So let us clear the aspect first. See, this is the visible spectra. Here we have ultraviolet radiation, here we have infrared radiation. This is the order of increasing wavelength. So the wavelength of infrared radiations, wavelength of visible spectra and the wavelength of ultraviolet radiation. This is the order. Always remember this. A question was asked in C.D.S 2019-1 which held on February 4th of February. Okay. So this was asked directly. And see, wavelength is inversely proportional to the frequency and energy is equals to h into f, where h is constant and f is frequency. So energy is inversely proportional to the wavelength. So their energy order will be ultraviolet radiations, visible light and infrared. It will be like this. Okay. Now come to the options. The wavelength of infrared is more than that of ultraviolet radiations. Yes, infrared has more wavelength than the ultraviolet radiations. So this will be true, absolutely true. The wavelength of ultraviolet is smaller than that of visible light. Yes, this is also true. You can see that this is smaller than wavelength of visible light. So this is also true. The photon energy of visible light is more than that of infrared light. See, visible and ultraviolet both have more energy level than the infrared. Then this statement is also true. So the right answer will be D. The photon energy of ultraviolet light is less than of visible light. Obviously, ultraviolet light has more, and in the statement it is given that it has less energy level. Okay, and how the frequency and wavelength is associated? Wavelength is equals to lambda c upon frequency. C is the speed of light. Always remember this. A person is standing on a frictionless horizontal ground. How can he move by a certain distance on this ground? This question was asked in C.D.S. previously. See, jumping, running, and rolling, all three of them requires friction to occur. So, by sneezing only, we can move a bit on a frictionless surface. So, the right answer will be A. Okay, lowering the atmospheric pressure on a liquid, what will it do? Increases the boiling point of a liquid, lowers the boiling point of the liquid, does not affect the boiling point of the liquid, or increases the time required for it to boil. This question was asked in UPSC CAPF Assistant Commandant 2018. Now see, what is the boiling point? Boiling point is the point when the vapor pressure of the liquid is equals to the atmospheric pressure of that region. Remember this. So what are the factors on which it depends? The first one is atmospheric pressure, and the second one is the impurities in it. We all know this. So how can it can be related with the boiling point? If we lowers the atmospheric pressure, it will lowers the boiling point of the liquid. How? See, in this way we can also understand the concept of cooker, like why the food takes very less time in cooking when it is cooked in cooker. See, this is the cooker and this is the liquid. Okay, so the trapped stream, or we can say sorry, the trapped steam which is there in the cooker, its atmospheric pressure increased, which eventually increases the boiling point of the liquid inside it. If I'll ask you that the boiling point of the liquid inside the cooker, or you can say, if I'll name it water, suppose, if I'll ask you the boiling point of water inside the cooker is 100 degrees Celsius, then it is not true. Inside the cooker, it has been raised. Why? Because of the atmospheric pressure generated by the trapped steams. Okay. Which of the following statements about the optical microscope is or are correct? Okay. Both the eyepiece and objective of a microscope are convex lenses. So for this you must know the ray diagram, or we can say the general diagram of a microscope. I will show you this. The magnification, they are talking about the eyepieces, the lenses, the magnification here, and again the eyepieces. So let us draw the microscope, optical microscope. First a convex lens, then again a larger convex lens. An object is kept here, and the ray diagram will be something like this. And so in this way you can see, like, here's the human eye and here's the object, how it works, how the microscope works. So coming to the very first statement, both the eyepiece and the objective of the microscope are convex lenses. This is absolutely true. Statement 1 is true. You can see like this. This is objective, this is eyepiece. The magnification of a microscope increases with the increase in focal length of the objective. See, magnification of a microscope is equals to magnification of first lens and magnification of the second lens. So it's around L upon FO into D upon Fe. What is L here? It's the length of tube. Okay. This is the focal length of the objective. This is the focal length of the eyepiece. And D is the distance, this distance. Image and the eyepiece lens. Okay. So this is the formula. Now you can see magnification of a microscope increases with the increase in focal length. Magnification should decrease. Magnification should decrease if we increase the focal length of any of the lens. So this is false. Okay, the magnification of a microscope depends upon the length of microscope tube. Yes, obviously length is there. So this is absolutely true. The eyepiece of a microscope is concave lens. This is false. Both are convex lenses. So statement 1 and 3 are correct. So the right answer will be 1 and 3. Option A. Question number 7. Newton's law of motion do not hold good for objects. This question was asked in UPSC C.D.S examination, and the options are at rest for the objects which are moving slowly, objects moving with high velocity, and the objects moving with velocity comparable to the velocity of light. See, we study some cases of all these things. So the right answer is option D. Why the Newton's law of motion doesn't hold good for the objects which are moving with the velocity comparable to the velocity of light? Because their mass changes. Mass become variable. So Newton's law is only applicable when mass is constant. Okay. In the phenomena of dispersion of light, the light wave of shortest wavelength is, okay, the options are accelerated and refracted the most, okay, slowed down and refracted the most, accelerated and refracted the least, and slowed down and refracted the least. This question was asked in NDA examination, and it's from optics. Optics is one of the favorite subjects of various organizations. They ask so many questions from that. See, the very first thing is that you must know that whether it is accelerated or slowed down. When the light is traveling from air to a different medium, okay, it is dispersing, so it is obviously traveling in a different medium, so it is slowed down. So the B and C are the only possible options. Okay, now come to the next part, which is the most refracted, which is the least refracted. This is a prism, and this is the phenomena of dispersion of light. Okay, this is white light, we all know this, and these are the band of Vibgyor. This is the order of their wavelength. So this is the original path. Okay, which one is the most refracted one, having the least wavelength? You can see like this. This is most refracted, this is least refracted. Now coming to the options, slowed down and refracted the most, is it correct? Yes, most refracted with shortest wavelength. Slowed down and refracted the least? No. If the option would be like the longest wavelength, then the answer will be D. So the right answer is B option. Water at 273 Kelvin is less effective in cooling than the ice at the same temperature. It is because water is difficult to handle. Okay, this question was asked in UPSC CAPF 2016. Okay, so the option A, you can see it's a very irrelevant option. You can eliminate it directly. Option B is water at 273 Kelvin has energy as compared to ice, has less energy as compared to ice at the same temperature, and water at 273 Kelvin has more energy as compared to ice at the same temperature. And the last option is water is not a cooling agent. So this is also eliminated. Okay, so option B and C is there, which we can consider. Okay, now see, ice and normal water both at 0 degrees Celsius This has more cooling effect, this has less cooling effect. Why? Ice will have latent heat, additional latent heat, which will extract the extra amount of heat from that thing which we are cooling. So always remember this. But in the option what it is given, water at 273 has less energy, ice has more energy in the form of latent heat. So option B will be the right answer in this case. Okay, coming to the last question. If a ship moves from fresh water to a sea water, it's a very, very important question. It is based on Archimedes principle, I will tell you. It is asked in UPSC C.D.S, NDA, and CAPF. It is asked everywhere. Okay, so the options are: sink completely. No, the ship will not sink. Sink a little bit, rise a little higher, or remain unaffected. These are the confusing options here. See, listen, when a body is immersed in a liquid, the fluid exerts an upward force on it, okay, which is called a buoyant force. And how buoyant force is calculated? Buoyant force is equals to the weight of the liquid which is displaced. And how we can calculate the weight of the liquid displaced? Volume of the liquid displaced into the density of the liquid displaced into G. So buoyant force is equals to volume of the dispersed liquid into density of the dispersed liquid. So a ship is coming in a seawater. Seawater has higher density than the fresh water. So what will it do? Buoyant force is directly proportional to the density. So the ship will rise a little bit. This will be the right answer. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much and all the very best to all the aspirants.